Hey guys, so in this day in history, we are going back 219 years back to 1804 when Napoleon crowns himself Emperor of France. On this ambitious day in 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself Emperor of the French at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. This coronation marked a significant moment in European history. Now we're jumping up 19 years and jumping across the pond to the US with the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine, which declared the US would not intervene in the European affairs, but that its sphere of interest included the entire Western Hemisphere, was enacted by President James Monroe on this day in 1823. Then we are jumping 40 years to 1942. And we're going from Washington, D.C. to the University of Chicago, where the first controlled nuclear chain reaction happened. Under the leadership of physicist or psychic physicist Georg Fermi, the first controlled nuclear chain reaction took place on December 2nd, 1942, at the University of Chicago. This milestone paved the way for the development of atomic energy. Now we are going to jump 11 years to 1993. I'm sorry, no. We are going to jump 119 years to 1942, which is when the nuclear reaction happened. 40 years later, in 1982, William C. DeVries implanted the first permanent artificial heart in Bernie Clark. The aluminum and plastic device was called the Jarvik 7. Now we are going to jump 11 years to 1993, where Colombian criminal Pablo Escobar, who was head of the Millennium Cartel, was arguably the world's most powerful drug trafficker in the 1980s and early 1990s, was killed during a shootout with authorities. We are now going to jump 8 years to 2001, where the Enron files for bankruptcy. On this day in 2001, Enron, once one of the largest and most admired companies in the United States, filed for bankruptcy. The collapse of Enron became a symbol of corporate fraud and ethical misconduct. We are now going to jump to 14 years, or not, I'm sorry, not 14 years, 13, back to 2014, where Canadian ice hockey player Jean Beliveau, considered one of the game's greatest centers, noted for his prolific scoring, passed away at the age of 83. And that's it for today's In This Day in History. I'll see you in next one.